Hello, everyone. It's your boy Adrian here. In whatever way you can, let's make sure that we're supporting US ARC. They're fighting to keep our reptile keeping rights. It's getting really crazy out here with all the laws passing and white lists being approved. Make sure that you're becoming a US ARC member if you can, and if not, support US ARC awareness on your platforms. Thank you, and we're stronger together, guys. West Coast, man, you know where it's at. Best place to relax and kick back. Underneath the palm trees, talk about reptiles and spit facts. From BP to GTP, emeralds to Ackies, the city by the sea where we rock the crease khakis. I don't need no AI intro because I've been at the style. Come kick it on the West Coast and talk about reptiles. Reptiles. Talk about reptiles. Style. Come kick it on the West Coast and talk about reptiles. Yo, what it do? What's up, everybody? It's your big homie Adrian right here. We got episode number 15, part 2 with Tylor's Green Trees, the big homie, man. Salute to him. Salute to all of you for tapping in. Really appreciate it. And as you guys know, uh, this is a reptile podcast to shoot the shit from a new keeper's perspective, having some experienced people, maybe some first timers, maybe some OGs on the show. And we're just all here learning together. You know, if we're going to have a conversation, might as well do it on a live. And by no means is any of this advice or, the right way to do it, the wrong way to do it. And yeah, just a quick update what I got going on. Not much, not much. Just kind of regrouping with the chondros. Still excited about the future with those. Been doing pretty well, pretty well. They're all settling into their new enclosures. I'm starting to turn the heat back on a little bit. It's getting colder over here on the West Coast. We never really had like a true summer, like really like hot summer so far. Knock on some wood or something. And it's starting to cool down a little bit. So it's pretty nice. It's been like in the 70s, like mid 70s for like the last freaking 6 months or a year, dude. It's been really nice. And I had my first successful ball python clutch, my only snake clutch yet produced. And so I had 6 eggs, all 6 hatched, and 2 have eaten so far. One's on its 3rd meal, one's on its 4th meal, no assisting, uh, striking and wrapping and handling the prey fine. And then 4, I actually had to assist feed. Finally, I just decided to step in and assist feed them about a week ago, and that went well. That was my first time assist feeding a snake, and yeah, I just did it right there in my hands. They just literally ate right there in my hands, held them until they got it down, and it was a really cool experience. It was pretty quick. It wasn't too bad, and I actually enjoyed it. You know, I don't. I wish I didn't have to do that. Obviously, it's not something that should be fun and whatever. But every time you get to spend with your animals and you have interaction, that's what I'm all about. Is the passion for the reptiles. We got Morph Market Hat right here. I want to give a quick shout out to Distributors Feed Club. They produced a 2-headed yellow anaconda that was at the Reptile Super Show and got some popularity a few weeks ago. And we're rocking West Coast Reptiles, Morph Market Hat, got the OG Lokes on, and we got our Trap Talk and US Arc bracelets right here. Shout out to Trap Talk, the big homie MJ. So yeah, got the ball pythons baby all going. I had some pairings of ball pythons and starting to see some growth on some females. So we'll see what happens. And I got a pair successful lock on my emerald tree boas for the first time. I was really excited about that. The male just went right to it and already knew what to do. Was thrilled about that. That was really awesome to see. And getting ready to bring Tylor on. It's a little quick update with what I got going on. Not a whole lot to talk about, but a couple things that have gone on so far. So hope you guys are all having a great week so far and look forward to this episode. Let's jump into some Green Tree Python talk with the homie Tylor, episode 15. Last time he was on was 2 months ago, episode 11. If you guys haven't caught that, make sure you go catch that. And we're going to pick up where we left off. So I'll bring Tylor up on the stage. Go. What's up,
Hey,
Tylor? How you
hey,
doing, man?
doing
Good to
great.
see you,
How we
bro.
doing? Good to have me back.
Doing good, man. You look good. Thank you for coming on again, bro. Really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy
Absolutely.
guy.
Absolutely.
And
That's
yeah, man.
okay.
You know how
Thanks
the
for having
pod
me.
goes, bro. We'll roll right into it, man. Like I said, you were excited for some pairings that you had that you were expecting to pair, I think, last month. Did that pairing happen? And let's get back into your pairings, bro.
Okay, so have not done any pairings yet. I recently just started doing my cycling for heat. About a week in. So I've got three pairings coming up. I've got a high yellow, a blue line, and then I guess you consider it. Well, it's a blue line to like a red Manokwari female. So,
All right.
but yeah, like I said, I just started doing heat cycling. So normally at night, I have their temperatures drop from 84 during the day to 82 at night, and currently I just started dropping it, week by week, a degree or two. So we're down to 78 degrees for a 12-hour period. So we'll be continuing that night cycle and dropping it more. I'll probably get down to 70, 72. Continue that for the next 2 months, and then start introducing the males to the females. So super excited to see what happens with that. So all these,
So you're running your hotspot at 78?
yeah, at night soon.
Okay.
Yeah, so at 8:15 at night,
Oh,
it
at night.
starts doing. Yeah, at 8:15 at night, it'll start doing a 2-hour period ramping, and it'll ramp down from 82 to 78 is what I
Oh,
have
got
it
it.
set to right now.
Got it.
Um, on Monday, I'll probably drop it down to 77 or 70,
Yeah.
76. But the goal is to get down to like 72. I've
Okay.
also been keeping my bedroom window open because we're up on the third
Yeah.
floor, so it's starting to get colder here in Colorado, so that's actually helping out, which is keeping this
Yeah.
room colder.
Yeah,
Right
same
now,
here.
the room's currently 80 degrees right now in the room, so even with those cages dropping, 6 of them out of, all the ones I have in here, it still stays pretty warm in here. It'll get down to like 78. So keeping that window open, it's definitely helping out.
Yeah.
So just keeping it cracked like that much because we're getting down into the 50s, low
Yeah, for
60s at
sure.
night here in Colorado.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's working out good so far.
Yeah, in Cali, it's a lot different. It's like you could almost just like do it naturally. Like you could almost just like run ambient, bro. Like it's pretty crazy. And yeah, I've just been kind of doing natural cycling.
Okay,
And but like I said recently, I have turned a little heat back on and running that through the nighttime because the daytime, you pretty much don't need any heat still. Like
definitely.
it gets kind of up
Mm,
there.
What's your day
And
temperature usually sit at in your room?
it's usually somewhere around like 80,
Okay,
81. Yeah, it gets, 80 to, around the 82-ish mark.
nice. That's, yeah, right around where
And
mine sits usually.
yeah, yeah. And I feel like the animals naturally, when if you're, you don't have too much, you know, insulation or stuff like that, the animals start to kind of naturally feel the change.
Oh, definitely,
But
definitely.
yeah, I mean,
Or at least
it's
like the barometric pressure. Like
still learning a
mine.
lot. Yeah, still learning a lot about, what I can get success from, and it's it's kind of tough right now for me. I'll just go down like a little experience I'm having right now. I have an adult Biak female, and the last sire to my clutch that didn't work out. I have the male, which is a Cyclops. So I got the Biak female, a Cyclops male, and the male just doesn't want like anything to do with the female. Like he'll be cruising around at night. Like if he's in his own enclosure, he'll be perched normally during the daytime, and then at night he'll start cruising around, which was what was happening with the previous pairing. And then I'll throw him in the enclosure with the female, and he won't stop cruising around. Like he's just trying to get away from her. I don't know if
Okay.
her size is intimidating him, or he's just not compatible with her. Like I'm trying to figure out like what I could do because I really want this pairing. I don't really have another male that I could put with her really right now, and I really wanted that pairing. So like, what could I do? Like, could I remove the perches and try to see what'll happen, or like, like, do you have males that have ever like not shown interest and you just really want to get that pairing? And
Um,
is it just a timing thing? Like the timing isn't right, because this male usually he was pretty good,
I feel like the
but
timing doesn't really matter because and this is from what I've noticed and what I've seen from other podcasts. There's people that pair up year round. Um, I
yeah,
would like to say maybe it's how you're cycling, but at the same time, sometimes you don't need to cycle. They do their thing naturally.
yeah,
Um, so I would maybe try doing some heat cycling. Do that for maybe, like I said, I do mine for like 2.5 months, just to get them kind of in the feel for things. But it could be a number of things, and I'm no expert with it. But to answer your question, I've had a male that he was basically rejected by a female last year, and they just ended up separating and being on opposite ends. So it could be maybe an intimidation thing too. But you're saying your male is still cruising around in the enclosure with the female, just
what
not
up, Big
interested
Mike?
in her?
Yeah, he's trying to escape for sure.
Uh,
Appreciate you
that's
tapping in, Big Mike. Means a
that's
lot,
what
bro.
my male was doing last year. It was almost like she was intimidating him.
Yeah, and she's not intimidating at all. She's just posted up, even like kind of spreading her tail out for him, and then
Huh.
he'll go up and like he's like looking at it, kind of sniffing it, and just it's like he's just uninterested. It's kind of frustrating. And I was just thinking like maybe if I like remove the purchase, like is that what's like I kind of see some people like I've heard that before. Like don't quote me on it, but I've heard that you could remove the purchase to kind of stimulate, them interacting with each other. Um,
You could try
I
it.
think of
It doesn't hurt to try because then you'll at least
yeah.
have that checked off. It worked or it didn't work.
Yeah, because that's when you see that like ground and pound, right? Like I think Marshall Mendez has kind of talked about it, or maybe he's done it before. I'll reach out to him. Marshall's pretty cool. He always
Oh yeah.
gets back to me. So I'll let you guys know in the next episode. Um,
I'm not
yeah,
super experienced with that. Like I said, I've only had that one
yeah.
pairing that really didn't work.
I don't really see how taking out the purchase would.
I don't
If
mean
he
neither.
doesn't want anything to do with it on the perch, why would he do? So it's
Yeah, they're tree snakes, not doing it on
yeah,
the
man.
ground.
So that's just
So
that just goes to show, guys. Like just having one male, you want that one pairing, and you want that one male to do it for you. It doesn't always happen. You need to have that backup male and
and
see what happens with that,
that's
and
what
at least
happened
get
with me last year with that
something going.
that first pairing. It was successful,
Yeah,
and then that male just wasn't compatible with that female, and then I threw the same male in for round two, and he got the job
yeah,
done. So I think he was a little bit more pushier with the female because the female was I I give her, well, I feel like she has like PTSD. She's just very just she has
Yeah.
anxiety. But he got the job done, so it's
Yeah.
always good to have multiple males ready to
Yeah,
go, even if
I've
it
got
wasn't
another
plan A.
male. So
Just give
I
it
got it.
time,
Yeah, I got another
patient.
male. So I thought I had like this other male, which is a Patrick Holmes animal, and it's just been ever since I got it. It's been shedding female, shedding female. It's been acting like a female, and I haven't probed it or anything, but it's like pretty obvious to me that this animal is most likely a female. Um, it's and so I'm just not counting. I'm just counting on that to be a female. Like, I'm not even
I
counting on it
understand.
as a male. I'm
Yeah.
like 99% sure it's a female. Uh, my
I had that happen to me.
Yeah,
The sire to the clutch from 2025 this year, the male Cyclops. I had it since it was a baby, raised it from a neo, and for first 3 years showed female. Didn't have I had no knowledge that it was a male, and then all of a sudden one day I got a shedding, and you could see its sperm plugs, and I was like, "Whoa, you're a male.
yeah,
Okay, holy cow!" The last 3 years, I was
yeah,
assuming you were a female, so it's
yeah. Chondros,
never
bro.
right.
Just
You never know, and I'm not one to probe because one, I don't know how to do it, and two, I just don't
yeah,
want to injure the animal by accident. So
yeah. This is another thing. Like, it's hard for me to bring it up because there's so much
controversy.
controversy, or just, yeah, I don't even, there's not a lot of, it's not really highly looked upon or recognized as a method of sexing green tree pythons. But what I did, I got an animal on Craigslist. That was the male that I had that sired my failed clutch, and I got it on Craigslist. I took it to the pet shop, and I was like, "Hey, like, I called him up. I was like, "Hey, man, I just want to see if, like, this animal's a male or female. Like, is there anything you could, like, do to, like, help me?" I think it was like my third green tree at the time, so I was pretty new. I was buying sexed animals, or what I thought were correctly sexed animals, and still yet to be determined on that. Because even probing, is not 100%.
Yep.
It's like, I mean, I don't think it's 100% all the time. So I took it to him. Hey, can you look at this thing? He's like, oh yeah, come by. I could check its tail. So I bring it to him, and I was like, all right, here's the animal. He's like, all right, hold the business end and let me look at the tail. And he just like kind of palpated the tail, like the base of the tail, like up toward the cloaca. And like almost immediately, he's like, "Oh yeah, it's a boy, bro. I felt his huevos right here. It's a boy." I'm just like, and this is a big animal. It's a big old animal. I'm like, "Are you sure, bro? Are you sure?" Because I wanted, everyone wants a female. I'm like, "Are you sure, bro? Are you sure it's not female? It's pretty big." He's like, "No, man. Yeah, I feel its huevos." And it did. It had like large spurs, like pretty large spurs. And I know that doesn't mean much, but so anyway, like, some time passes after he said that it was a male, and it shed plugs, and then I put it in with the female, and it locked. So he was right about that. He just palpated the tail and determined that it was a male. So okay, so he did that, and then it proved out that he was a male, and he sired the clutch, the failed clutch that I had. And then I'm like, all right, so I've had questions on this other animal. Is this male? Is it female? Because it was sold to me as a male, and I'm hoping for a male. It's my nice red, powerful male. But I wasn't seeing any signs of male at all. And the animal was getting big too. It was like putting on a lot of size. And it's like, I have some other females in my collection, and it's like bigger than any of the other females. And I even have a female that's older than that animal, and this animal's already bigger than that animal. And it's not like it's a biak or anything, like it should be bigger naturally. They're kind of the same subspecies. And I
I
took it.
have
I'm
a
like, hey man, can I got another chondro? Can you look at the tail again? He's like, yeah, man, sure, bring it by. So I bring it by, and he's doing the same thing, palpating the tail. He's like, hey, yeah, it's. He's like, I'm thinking it's female, man. Like I don't. He was pretty sure. He was like, yeah, I think it's a female, bro. It's like I was just like, all right, and that's like if he determined that the male was a male right away, and then he determined that this one's a female, like almost immediately as well, and he got a really good feel on it. Like I'm trusting this guy. And then by the way, this is the shirt I'm rocking. He's a really good dude. Distributors Feed Club out here in California. So, and he's not like a green tree python expert by any means. He's just like a reptile shop owner, a pet shop owner, and just a good guy. But he has produced, like he's produced a lot of animals, and he's bred a lot of animals. And sometimes when you get that perspectives from someone else that's not like a green tree python aficionado, it kind of opens up the horizons of thinking differently and all that. Because if we just keep saying the same stuff, bro, and thinking the same thing, like when do we ever evolve? So that's why we're shout out to Trap Talk, man. They're bringing up stuff, new things. And I don't know if you heard the chicken gizzard segment that they went on about.
I did.
That was really good. I'm proud of them for doing that. And then like this palpating thing, like obviously the animal has to be a mature adult, like for you to be able to do this. In my opinion, you can't do it on a neonate. So that's where
Oh no.
probing. That's where probing, because there's nothing really there to feel. The animal has to be like a mature adult. So anyway, I had this other male that prolapsed, and I got him in a tub. I got him in like a ball python rack right now. I
Okay.
reached out to Marshall Mendez because I pushed, he prolapsed out of nowhere, prolapse, and then pushed it back in. It kind of went back in on its own. And the trippy thing was that this animal was supposed to be a female. And when it prolapsed, I saw its hemipenes prolapse also. So I'm like, oh,
Oh.
this is a male. And it did have some spurs. It had some spurs on it, and so the only animals that have spurs that I have are males. And so all of the females don't have spurs, anecdotally from what I see now. I don't know if you've noticed that, like only your males have spurs, or, do you notice that your female have spurs? Do you have proven females that have spurs? Have you ever noticed? Because it's
Um,
it's pretty noticeable. Like what has spurs and what,
I was
I
gonna
mean,
say I have an Aru male. I know 100%
yeah,
he's a male. He's got the largest spurs out of everybody.
yeah.
Um, I've actually never looked on some of my
Because
females.
because I've read it in the more complete chondro that spurs could be a determining factor on sex, which I don't completely agree with. You know, I do somewhat, but now like seeing this, I have a really small sample size, but from what I've seen is that the males have noticeably larger or visible spurs, and the females have like zero visible spur. And
Okay.
that's just what I've
I'm gonna have
noticed.
to pay attention to that.
Yeah. Yeah, let me know, man.
Trying to think, is she
We'll have to
awake
do a
right
round 3
now?
now, bro.
I know. I was like the female that I had last year produced. If I pull her out now,
Yeah,
she don't light me up. But
yeah,
I'll have to definitely check and see if she does have spurs.
yeah. And,
But that I could look
you
on
know,
the female that I'm cycling right now, the yellow one, and then I could show you the
yeah.
yellow, kind of show you the pairing if that's something
That's
you're
just my
interested into.
observation. So even like when the prolapse thing happened, before the hemipenes actually prolapse, I can kind of I was like I was looking at the tail really good, I had its tail right there, and I could see the spurs. I was like, "Huh, those are pretty big spurs." And then the base of the tail, because this was kind of right in the middle of my whole palpating the other male or female thing. So I'm like
Okay.
really like keen on, I'm checking out tails, comparing this tail to that tail, which ones I know is a female to that. And then so I'm checking, and I'm like, man, that's a pretty thick base of the tail, because you could almost just see the tail like on an adult, like you could see the base of the tail is thicker, after the cloaca for males, and females it just tapers off really thin, like there's nothing there. There's no reproductive organ inside the tail, and so you could almost visibly just sex a green tree python, like just by looking at its tail, like and obviously an adult, mature adult. Similar to, I've heard that you could do that also with emerald tree boas. Like you could just see for sure a male like right away. Kind of, it's like pretty obvious. Um, and I've noticed that a little bit too on the small sample size that I have. But
Okay.
for it to just be this like whole rocket science thing, I think it's a lot like simpler than we think. You know, and it's kind of being overthought a little bit. I mean, what would you say, Tyler, is
For
you know,
me,
you know,
from what do I go off of is obviously the shed, also their behavior. From what I've noticed with all my females, they're all very still. They don't move around too much unless they're super hungry.
yeah,
The males definitely move around a lot at night. So even with a couple of year and a half olds right now, I guarantee they're both female.
yeah,
And the sheds both proved it as well. But just their behavior. So I go off of behavior in the shed. I know you can do probing, not want to do that. Looking at them, for me, I haven't used that. I've just used just behavior and just their sheds. Um, and I've been right on, except for that male that popped up to be a male when it was 3.5 years old. So
yeah,
that's been the only one that kind of wowed me. So,
yeah,
but whatever works for
yeah,
you,
man.
if it's working,
So,
keep doing it.
so
We
that
all
one
have
that
our own
that
ways of doing it.
prolapse, now I'm like, okay, that's a male, but I got it in the ball python rack, and it's just chilling. It hasn't prolapsed since.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to push it back like a couple times. I tried putting a band-aid with some medical tape, and it would just, they're so like smooth that
Hmm.
it peeled it right off like within a few hours.
Did you
Which
use any
maybe,
preparation H or anything? I've
no, I
used
didn't.
that in the past.
Yeah, I didn't use anything. I didn't even do sugar because it was going back in so easy.
Okay.
Yeah, it was almost going back in by itself. So I didn't really do anything with it. I just pushed it back in and hope for the best.
How long's
And
it been in the tub for? How's it
and
doing
it's
now?
it's been in the tub for like a month maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
it's been almost a month, and yeah, it's been doing good. I got water, I got it all humid, and I haven't fed it yet. Um, I'm kind of trying to let it heal up still before I feed it. It
Okay.
did have some good size on it, so not too concerned about that. But yeah, so I can't use that mail. What I'm trying to get at is like now I can't really use that mail because it just prolapsed.
Yep.
So it's not easy, bro. It's not easy, man.
Well, and sometimes
It's
if you gotta wait, you gotta
tough.
wait.
Yeah,
The three females that I'm cycling right now, my goal was to breed them last year for
yeah,
2024, and they just
yeah,
weren't up to the right weight. And
yeah,
that was on MJ's podcast when we were discussing that with Bill Steele and Marshall. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait,
yeah,
and it'll pay off. I feel like this game's a patient game. It's can't rush it, or at
yeah,
least for me, I'm not in it to rush and just
yeah,
turn and burn stuff. I want stuff to be right, and the time's not right. Mother Nature will
yeah,
give you a sign or display something.
yeah. Cause yeah, I
So,
got this big old female, bro. She's 10 years old and ready to go, and just trying to get something to lock up to her, but I don't have anything to lock up to her, man. If I had to put a
ah,
ball python in there, fuck,
oh no,
fucking
oh no,
a diamond python. Put a
oh
diamond in there.
nice,
That would be
oh,
sick, dude. I don't even know. Yeah,
some
I'd love to see
crossbreed.
that. Like, not saying
Oh,
I would do it myself, but who knows? I don't even know. But you see these other carpondros, they're always like a jungle carpet. Why can't we put like a diamond at least, bro? Come on, like have some respect.
I
If you're
have a
gonna
good
do, yeah,
I have a good friend right now. He's got a clutch in the incubator of some Carpondros. So
okay. Yeah.
we'll see what
I've seen some
happens.
dude was killing it, bro. He had like the 75% green tree carpondros. Like, I
That's what
forget
they
the,
are. That's what they'll be. It's
yeah.
because the female, she's a She's a 50-50, and then he bred, 100% to her. So he's had a successful clutch last
Yeah,
year. But yeah, they'll be 75% GTP. So I think
yeah,
we've done some trading back and forth. This is my best friend that um, I've been friends with and kind of
yeah,
got me into the green tree game. So I'll probably be adding one to the collection. I know a lot of people
yeah,
like steer away from it or frown upon it, but I think it's
yeah,
cool. It's something different. It's not
yeah,
gonna be my main focal point, but it'd be cool just to have
yeah, bro. I mean, at the end of the
something.
day, man, it's whatever makes you happy, bro. Like,
Exactly. As
you
long as it's
can't
healthy
live your
and
life trying to please other people and shit. And
that's what we
like,
all say, right? And then we end up
yeah,
trying to do it anyways, but I get you,
yeah.
man.
But yeah, man, car ponchos are sick, dude.
They're
Those
pretty
things are
cool.
fucking sick, bro. Like,
Some cool patterns.
not trying to hype them up, like, oh, let's all move toward, obviously, I think there's like,
We'll get
a
banned
time and
from
place.
the forums. No,
You
just
know,
kidding.
I agree with the Ryan Young, side of things as well. Haven't went too far left, but it
Don't
it is dope. You see, they're cool to look at, but it's like, oh shit,
right.
you don't want to muddy
Both.
the water too much.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, but
Well, it sounds like you
anyway,
need to get a new male. You need to
yeah,
find a male. I don't know if you've talked to any other breeders. If that's something you wanted to try to
yeah,
get in on towards
yeah.
this
Like I
end of the
said, I really
year,
like that mail that I had. Um,
give them time, maybe next
yeah,
year or even halfway. Give them a half a year and see what
yeah,
happens.
yeah, man. I'm not
I
really,
say,
looking for anything. I'm just trying to work with what I got, but that's the hard part, man. That shit ain't easy, man. The green
no.
tree pythons are like even ball pythons. Like I said in my intro, I had 4 that didn't eat out of 6, and I had to assist feed them, which wasn't too bad. Like I said, it was cool. And now I get practice assist feeding snakes, before a green tree clutch.
Yep.
So
I've had to
um,
do that this year to
you know,
one of my babies from the 2025 clutch, and it helped him actually. It
yeah,
helped him bounce back, and now of course he's in shed, so I get him to eat one meal after doing that on its own, and now he just wants to bite it and drop it, but he's in shed, so I'm like, okay, we'll give you a break, but all the
yeah.
other ones are doing good. They're on their 10th, 11th meal, so they're all
So
happy.
like in your experience in assist feeding, is it just you do like I obviously there's some that continue to need to be assist fed, but have you had any like turn on after the first assist feed?
Yeah, actually, um, so I think the last podcast I explained to you, I had two from that clutch is number 6 and number 11, and they both stopped eating after their second meal. Just and what I think caused it was just because the mouse kind of got a little too warm and it started leaking some of its juice, and I think that smell turned them off, and then they just stopped eating. So I did try to, I assess fed number 6, and literally the next time, 5 days later, 5 or 6 days later, after I went to go feed again, boom, took it. So I was like, okay, it flipped a switch. Like, hey,
Okay.
food, I know what
Yeah.
this means. They didn't
Yeah.
like it, they like to spit it out, or if you get it far enough down their throat where they will swallow it on their own. I feel like that also triggers something too. I've had a male, he's actually right behind me, his name is Archie. I had to assist feed him for over a year,
Oh man.
and
No,
now he eats just fine. He
yeah.
just needed a jump start, and I don't know, I feel like they figure out when they want to eat on their own. I won't let any of them die, but I've had some die that just even after assist feeding,
Yeah.
um, and getting food in their body, and they just all of a sudden you just come in one day and they're just not there. So I was like, well, I guess it
Yeah,
just
man.
wasn't meant to be. Did everything I can. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, sometimes assist feeding it, if I feel like it's stressful on the babies, because I've seen videos even where people are doing it, and I'm like, oh, that baby just doesn't even look
Oh
like it's
my god.
struggling. I'm over here like trying to hold them straight and
Yeah.
not hurt them, and
Yeah.
I'm just, yeah. sometimes it could
I was
be.
like holding it upside down, so it's like gravity's like working, like
You can also, also dipping the mouse in some water just to help with it going down.
yeah,
I've heard
yeah,
people
that's
use egg yolk. I'm like, I don't want to deal with
yeah,
salmonella. Like,
yeah,
no,
dude,
I'm not gonna try that. But if it works for you, cool.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I've had to do it.
yeah,
It's
for sure,
name of the game.
yeah, for sure, man, and
So
yeah, like people say breeding ball pythons are easy, but look, you got to assist feed more than half the clutch. It's not. It's,
I
hit and miss. Obviously, every clutch is different. It's hit and miss, and
feel like
um,
the breeding part's easy. It's the establishing from my experience.
even the
Like,
breeding
yeah,
part is tough, man. Like, I had to dial in my incubation, my egg box setup.
okay.
I had some females look like they reabsorbed. I had one female slug out almost. She laid one egg, and then that got wrapped in the umbilical cord.
Oh,
And there's a lot of like, you know, um, I had yes, it's not that it's not it's breeding anything isn't easy, man, and it turns into a whole nother ball game, bro.
well,
Whole nother
and
ball
that's
game, man.
I remember last time we were talking after the podcast. That's why, when I first started out, I was just trying to get my hands on a little bit of everything, and now I'm like, okay, no, I want it to be captive bred. Um,
Yeah,
I've just noticed better results, better feeding habits, just
100%.
better
Yeah,
body structure of just a captive bred animal, and
yeah,
that could be too. I'm not sure if your stuff's captive bred or wild caught or farm bred, but I feel like
yeah.
that's something you could look into also, like, okay,
Uh,
why is like as that's why it's not working, could be something like
yeah.
along those lines,
The
but
majority of my animals are not. I've got 3 captive bred and two unknown. No,
like farm raised or
no, I'm
wild caught,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, it's no, I don't have majority captive bred. I take that back.
Okay.
I think it's 3 because I have 7. I think it's 3 to 4. Like there's 2. They're just undocumented. Who knows if
Yeah.
they're farm bred or captive bred or imports. I know one is for sure an import. Yeah, who knows for
No.
sure? But I got 3 that are captive bred, and I really, those animals are solid, bro. I stand by captive bred, man. After some experiences recently, you know, I do, I was struggling to get this captive bred one to eat because I went on a little tangent on about captive breds and about how like people feed them like frozen thawed their whole life. They've
Mhm.
never seen a pre-killed rodent. They don't know what obviously a live rodent is. I don't recommend feeding live. No, you know,
Oh,
but
sorry,
um,
they shut off. They'll come back on
yeah,
here in a sec.
yeah, you're good.
One
You're
sec.
good. Yeah, go for it, bro. Appreciate smash the like button, everybody. Banger episode so far. Good conversation with the homie Tyler, man.
Alexa,
Really
turn
good
snake
dude.
lights to daylight.
Yep, solid dude, bro.
Alexa, turn snake lights to white. Okay, cool. We're back on. Their lights just shut off at 8:30. They go to red.
Yeah, you got
Uh,
that Ryan Young red.
Yeah, yeah, we do red for 2 hours.
All right.
And then after 2 hours, it'll shut off and just be all dark. If I walk back into the room and ask the A unit, I won't say her name because she'll
Yeah,
listen.
yeah,
Just to turn snake lights on, she'll turn everything back on to red, just so I can come in here and see, okay, does anyone need spray? Did anyone go to the bathroom?
yeah,
Did
yeah,
anyone
for
knock their
sure.
perches off?
Yeah,
So I'm always in
yeah.
this room.
I have like a black light that I run, which is kind of
Okay.
like the same thing, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe not, but yeah,
Well, yeah, my
pretty
ceiling
cool.
light, so it's like a fan, but it does daylight, but it has a ring up on top that just does red, so I can turn that on so it's red.
Oh, dope,
Um,
dope.
but yeah, I always have friends, "Hey, take pictures at night." I'm like, "I'm not turning the lights on, man. Sorry."
Yeah,
"Come on." I'm like, "Nope, not doing it, bro. It's red. It's nighttime.
yeah,
It's their morning." So,
yeah. So I went
um,
on this whole thing real quick about like frozen thawed. Like I've had it happen to me a couple times. when getting a captive bred animal, all they've had is frozen thawed, and I've had to like switch it over to what I feed because I just do all pre-killed. You know, I breed my own rodents,
Okay.
so it's just way more easier for me to just grab a live rodent, pre-kill it, offer it, and I think what I'm gonna start doing now is actually like, you know, I know people inject. I might just start like dipping the pre-killed rodent in some water, and you know, obviously not the tongues too, but just the rodent, um, like, or just spraying it like with some water, like to give it some hydration, you
Mm-hmm.
know, to hydrate the prey item before offering it, you know, because like that is one good thing about frozen thawed is like you soak it in that water before you feed it sometimes, or you know, they just kind of have that natural moisture to them from being frozen and then thawed out. Like, what do you feed frozen thawed?
I do do frozen thawed.
Yeah, and you have them in water, like kind of they're
Um,
kind of damp. Like, do you heat them up in water?
no, actually, right now, they've been thawing out since before we started our podcast. Just at room temperature up here, and then
And
after
then
this, I'll fill it up with warm water, let it sit there for like probably 5 minutes, and then I'll put some hot water in there, and then we'll feed.
yeah, yeah. So they'll, you know, that's kind of what I meant. Is like they'll be sitting in water before you offer them. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So
No worries. Was that muting it or no?
yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what happened was, yeah, 8:30 came around and it shut them off, and then I switched them back. But there's like a 2 minute dead zone, and that's when it
Okay.
come on back on red. So that's why it spit it to back to red. So I was trying to change it again. So sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt,
No,
man.
you're good, man.
One
Oh,
sec. I 1 sec.
all good, bro. Yeah, I was feeding. Yeah, so I think I might just start doing something with the hydration, like getting a warm bowl of water and, you know, carefully dunking the rodent. Like, I don't really see any harm in just dunking the rodent itself in the water, like not the feeding utensils to avoid any cross contamination. I mean, it's a rodent. You put the rodent in the water and then, you know, they're all the same rodents. It's not like some rodent is contaminated with something, you know, it's just water
So
and a rodent.
are you doing this just to get more water inside the animal, or
No, like not like
like I guess I misunderstood why you were wanting to
yeah, because
add
you
an
know,
extra step. Is it not working? Is your feeding method not
it's
working, or
it's like because I've had the prolapse thing, you know, I'm thinking
okay?
maybe it'll help with the prolapse thing. Like, you know, I see the animals drink water, you know, I do frequent water changes, I
Mm-hmm.
spray, and I'm still like, you know, I don't know, you know, I've had a green tree prolapse, and then I've had a ball python prolapse. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, and that's not sure, you know, what's
There's
going on.
so
Like,
many directions
you
they
know,
could
I've got
go, you know.
when you got fucking 40 animals, bro, I mean something's bound to happen, you know, like so,
Absolutely.
you know,
What
it's yeah. So anyway, yeah, man, I had this animal. I went on a tangent about like captive bred animals. They're only feed frozen thawed their whole life. And so when I get them, I have trouble feeding them because they've never had a pre-killed rodent. And especially like in ASF, maybe they're stuck on rats or mice or these frozen thawed rodents that have their specific smell. And I feed them a pre-killed ASF and they just want nothing to do with it. So I'll usually, you know, I'll try. And so I tried frozen thawed, you know, I went and bought a fucking rat, blah, 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 you know, tried everything. I have my own frozen thawed that I have just for stock, and tried that. It didn't work on this captive bred animal, and then so I put a. I just you know I'm like, all right, well fuck it. I'm just gonna put a live in there, see what happens. You know, I left it in there for like 18 hours or something, and it just wasn't, wasn't even interested in it. All right, took it out, tossed that one, and then I saw when I woke up in the morning, I'm starting to understand its feeding pattern, and maybe certain animals like to eat at a certain time or something. So I woke up in the morning before work. I noticed it was in the ambush position. So I just went back, got another rodent of like a different color, same ASF, different color, tossed it in there, went to work, and I came back from work and it was gone. And I'm like, oh, I'm looking all over for the, I'm like, no, this can't, because I was traumatized. I'm like, this thing couldn't have eaten it. Like, what the fuck? And it was, there's no way, it was my brand new PVC setups. So there's no way it could have got out. So obviously, and I could see, when you see the animal has like, the prey in its belly, I could obviously
Hmm.
see that the animal had been,
Well, that's
taken.
good.
So
That's good
yeah,
part of
man,
it.
I got it to eat, alive, from frozen thawed. It went, straight to unfortunately, that's what it had to come to for, I was trying everything, tease feeding and all that, it just wasn't working. And whatever I had to do to get the animal to eat, I just that's what I did. And then I think I did the same thing like maybe a week and a half later, and then, that animal's gone, and then boom, I just did it again. At this point, I'm just trying to get the animal comfortable and get it to like recognize prey. I'm not
Hmm.
really, because with the thing with the ASF is like when you feed them live, they don't really fight back. Like they don't put up much of a fight. They're just like, oh, I'm gone. Like, but like a big ass rat is gonna fight. A mouse is gonna fight. But the ASF, they just like, I'm gone. They're a lot more like, friendly, than like
Okay.
if you put an ASF in a ball python tub for 24 hours,
They're gonna be
it
friends.
won't yeah, they're gonna be friends, cuddle up. It's not gonna eat your snake. You know, not guaranteed, not advice, not a professional. But if you put a rat in there, that thing is gonna fuck up your snake for sure, bro. Or a mouse or whatever. It's gonna fuck up your snake for sure. The ASF, that shit will not touch. It'll die of starvation before it even fucks with your snake, bro. It'll eat all the fucking cocoa. So anyway, I did it again recently. Boom. I saw I was in striking position. Just tossed in the ASF. Boom. Striked it immediately, bro. And now that animal, so it went from like not accepting shit to just now it's, a fucking killing machine, bro. And you know, that's just what I love, bro. I turn it into this. It comes to me as this artificial, like not really programmed to be a snake, and I turn it into like the predatory animal that they are naturally in the wild,
Okay.
which is like I don't like I don't fucking not trying to say like, oh fuck, that's what you're supposed to do or whatever. But I just want the animal to have a chance, at survival, and didn't want to have to assist feed it, and for it to like, you know, sniff its nose at something and just turn away, and now it's like, striking or rapping aggressively. I think, that's what a snake is supposed to be. And eventually it gets to the point where it could just be pre-killed and you could just dangle it and now it's going to strike it. It gets, into that, when it switches to prey items, because they get stuck on like rats and mice and things like that. Like, but when you try to switch them to ASF, it doesn't work out, man. Some of the times I had another one like that. I fed it frozen thawed 4 times, and then
Hmm.
boom, it switched to ASF and turned into a killing machine. And so, like, that's what I strive to be. Like, if I'm gonna like sell an animal that I produce, it's gonna be smashing whatever, bro. It's gonna if you put a mouse, because that's what all my animals. If you put a mouse, a quail, a rat, an ASF, frozen thawed, pre-killed, live, it's gonna take whatever, bro. I don't fuck with that magic trick. Oh, you gotta do this, you gotta dangle it like this and then tease it, hold it from the back of the hips and then do the hokey pokey and you nah, bro. Like,
You have to create
obviously
your own routine when you have those little babies.
it's
It'll
yeah, no, yeah, when you have the babies, obviously it's different, you know. But
they'll
I'm
throw
trying
you
to get the
curveballs.
animal like established where it could just,
I have a
whatever,
male that went off feed, and I show him? Can I show him to
Yeah,
you?
man, 100%, bro.
Yes. So
Thanks for letting me
when
go off on that, dude.
oh no,
Appreciate it.
you're good, man. You're good. So I have a male that went off feed. He just wanted to breed, but he obviously wasn't of age or size. And the only way I could get him back eating was to give him rats. And
Yeah,
now he's my spoiled bougie boy.
yeah,
So he only eats rats. But this
yeah.
is Sumo. So he's actually one of the males that I'm cycling for this
Send
year.
him over here, bro. I'll turn him into a fucking killing machine. He'll be smashing ASF before you know it, bro. Fucking
Little Sumo. He's from
yeah,
Garrick from the House of Blue, so he's a
badass.
Chronos
Yeah,
Siren. Um, so I'll be
nice.
breeding him to a red female
Here, let me
Maniquari.
let me put you on solo, bro.
Oh yeah, go for it. So yeah, a little Sumo. So yeah, he's my picky boy, but I love him. So he's one of my first, I guess you would say, like high ends that I kind of sought after. Um, so I'll be breeding him this year and his sister as well, from the same clutch. But I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, he won't eat
Nice.
anything but rats now, man.
Yeah,
So and I've tried. There was one time where I tricked him. I put him a rat in there,
yeah,
and he kind of like struck it but didn't want it. And then
yeah,
I threw a mouse in there after, and I don't know if he just thought it was the same thing, but he took it. But that's the only time I've been able to get this guy to do that. So
yeah. Like off the tongs or something, or like
yeah, right off the tongues.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah. That I have a
but
similar story too.
yeah, go for it. I'll
And
put him back. But
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
buddy.
man. So I got a diamond python. I got a pair of diamond pythons. The female immediately, boom, smashing ASFs, and the male wanted nothing to do with it, bro. Was not having the ASF. Was stuck on rats or mice, and I'm just like, fuck, bro. So the last few times, I've just been trying to get it to eat. So I just, I fed it whatever it wanted to eat, and just said it is what it is. And then, the last few times, I'm just like, all right, bro, I'm getting over it. I got one animal in my collection that will only take rats or mice. I'm like, so I'll get a couple mice or a couple rats, and I'll scent the ASF with that. I'll just sit it in a bag or like a deli cup with the other rodents, and then they get the smell. And I did that a few weeks ago, and then it striked and wrapped the ASF after scenting it, but it didn't swallow it. Did that 3 times, 3 strikes, 3 wraps, 3 no swallows. So I just gave it what it wanted, gave it the rat pinky, and or rat fuzzy or whatever, and then um I'm just gonna keep going right here, but gave it the I don't know if Tyler you're there or not, but if you want to hop out and come back in, I gave it the rat. Yeah. Anyway, I tried scenting it again with the mouse. I don't really think the mouse affected it. It's just what I got. It's just what I happened to pick up was a mouse. Yeah. Just hop back in, Tyler, and I'll add you back to the stage, bro. You're good. Just but yeah, that animal that Tyler was just showing, badass male, bro. He's got a sick collection over there. Some nice animals with some yellow diamonds, and yeah, absolute fire, bro. Just got the chondros posted up, man. I'm getting some females. All right, here comes Tyler back in.
sorry about that.
All
Someone
right.
tried calling my phone and it just like we lost
Yeah, yeah,
connection. So
yeah. No worries, bro. No
I'm
worries.
trying not to get bit right now. I want to show you another one.
So I had, like I was saying, I was scenting the ASF with the different type of rodents, and I would get strike and wraps, but it wouldn't swallow it. You know, and
Huh.
it did it. It did it 3 times. I just tried 3 times. Strike wraps. Well, 3 strikes, wraps, 3 no swallows. So I'm like, all right. So I just gave it the rats. Fuck it, here you go, eat. And of course it took those. And
Oh,
and then I tried again last time. Last time I just fed it and I got a mouse and scented it again,
okay.
and it took it this time. I don't know what maybe like flipping that switch or something. I scented it and then boom, it just took it this time. I was just persistent with it, and it took an ASF for its. I'm happy to say my diamond python took an ASF, bro, for its first time ever, and then I fed it the mouse as well.
Okay.
Chased it down with the mouse. So
Yeah,
who knows next time if I could just get straight to the ASF. You know, I doubt it. We'll take the straight ASF. I might have to scent it again, but just slowly trying to like wean it off that shit because they get stuck on rats and mice, bro. Like it's
Are
they have a
you
lot
are you only
different.
trying to feed ASFs? Is that all you want
Yeah,
them to
yeah.
be
I only
eating?
want to, yeah, because that's all I got. So that's
Okay.
that's that's all I'm trying to feed.
Okay.
Um, yeah, man.
Understand. Now I'm trying to not get bit. This is my only green tree that I have to
Okay.
be mindful of. His
Yeah,
name
that
is
high
D.
yellow,
Yeah.
the Socrates.
Yep. It's only because I have him on a stick. Usually when I handle him, I
I'm
free
gonna blow you
handle
up
him.
solo.
Yeah, when I free handle him, he's fine. But when he's on his perch, he's like, nope. He just he wants to bite. So this is a male that will be this will be for my high yellow pairing. This will be the sire. So looking forward to this. Sorry to go off topic, but it's crazy that this guy was a this was a red Neo.
Wow, that's a trip, man. Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I've
but
seen Socrates Morph Market video, I think, where he went over his high yellows and said that they, had good feeding responses.
oh
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
like compared to a lot of his other animals. Yeah.
Socrates raises some good eaters.
I mean, yeah, I mean, not to say, his animals don't have good, but the yellows have especially good feeding responses, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And if you guys haven't checked it, obviously shout out Big Morph Market, a Morph Market vlog, Big Trap God, all that shit. Check out Socrates' video. I think it was how to tame arboreal snake, how to tame a
How to
green tree
tame them.
python, or how to handle
That's
them.
I was talking with the client today. I was like, I handle all of mine because
Yeah,
if you don't, you just end up with the mean snake. So that's my last one that I have to tame. But I got that male when he was, two and a half years old. So he was just used to being handled.
yeah.
But
And
this
it's
is
tough because I try not to mess with them too much. I try to just give them their space, and
oh, I
but
mess
at the
with them
same
all.
it's good to get them out and get them to move around.
Oh, definitely.
Like that's
Especially the females, because there's
yeah,
like this female in particular, she likes to be lazy. Like she has a
yeah,
routine where she'll go to the front at night for food, but it's like, girl, you need to move around and eat.
yeah.
So I
They'll
pull them
literally
out,
stay in
make
the
them move
same
around.
position, bro. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
they won't even move. It's crazy.
So, but this is the high yellow female that I'll be
Nice.
breeding that
Okay.
male
Let me
to.
let me expand.
Yeah. So, and believe it or not, this female, she was a yellow. I got her from Underground Reptiles back when they were, actually having a lot more to offer. Now I know I think they only have like Beox or like a Ruse, which I'm not against, but this is like right in the beginning when I was looking for some mix. So she's actually a Jaya Beoc. And then she just stayed yellow.
Yeah, that's
So I'm
that's one of my
excited.
favorite animals in your collection, man.
Yeah, her
Such
name's
a
her
cool
name's
story, bro.
Pixel, and
You scored.
she's a puppy dog.
Absolute
She's a
score.
sweetheart. Yeah.
That's such a great pairing, bro. So
I
happy
can't
for you, Tyler.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah.
We'll have to get you a baby. Oh yeah, let's
Yeah,
look at
man.
her. Let's see if
Oh yeah.
so she does have those spurs.
Oh yeah.
They're
Okay.
very, very, very tiny. Hi, mamas. You can come say hi.
But yeah, they're really tiny. Yeah.
Yeah, they're so tiny. You can. I can only really see one of them. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
this fat girl, she needs to go to the bathroom. You need to go to the
Heck yeah,
bathroom.
bro. Thanks for
Yeah,
showing
just
us some animals, man. It's
oh
awesome,
yeah,
bro.
for sure,
Yeah.
man. I was like, that's we got to show some snakes. I know we sit
Yeah.
here and talk, but I was like, we got to show some snakes on
Yeah.
this podcast too.
Yeah.
So
Heck yeah, bro.
I was like, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
man. That's what it's all about, bro.
right?
All about the animals, man. That's what my podcasts are all about. Straight to the animals, what I've experienced working with them so far, what Tyler sees in his and
Try.
whatever you guys see in yours, man. Drop a comment, bro. Don't,
Definitely.
feel free to engage in conversation, man.
If anyone's interested in some Neos, we still have some available over here as well. Hit me up on Instagram.
Yeah.
Not
Hit
trying to
Tyler up.
advertise everything, but it's what we
Nah, man,
do.
go for it. Talk your shit, bro. You have anything on Morph Market?
No, I wasn't planning on doing it, but this year, I still have 8 Neos left. Um,
Yeah.
so I was gonna probably throw a couple up there, but what I've found out so far is, I'll keep them, and because my window's closing here for shipping because it's gonna start getting cold here, so I'll probably have until like the end of October, if I want to
Yeah.
really press it, and I'll have these animals grow out, and they'll be almost
Yeah.
coming up to a year or so. Well, no,
Yeah,
not a
so it's
year,
not that
but
worth
half a
it.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and I'll
not
be able to
that worth it.
hopefully tell if they're male or female, or just kind of see what the colors turn out like. And I think it'll help me choose what one I'm going to hold back because I haven't chosen any holdbacks yet.
Oh, okay.
I've kind of just given people first dibs and just see what I end up with, and I'm okay with that.
Dope, man.
So, but yeah, we definitely have some cool ones. Show you this number 12. He's a shiner. They're definitely growing.
Yeah.
Definitely not as big as the other ones, but this guy,
Nice.
this one right here. So it's nice about this one. This one's going to a local here in Colorado. Built some custom enclosures for him, so he'll probably get it in the springtime because we're doing a payment plan. So helping people out. I'm like, no, that's fine. I'll raise them for you. So yeah, this one's pretty.
Nice, man.
But yeah, they're Jaya
Can you
Biak.
can you show us a little setup real quick?
Yeah, yeah.
Setup. Kinda.
Let me see if this camera will go down. So, does that work right there for you?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Cool.
Nice.
So I just got them in IKEA tubs. Um,
Nice.
I'm using acrylic dowels. They get these after I get like 6 meals in them because
Okay.
originally I use a smaller coat hanger. I don't know if you can see it. I have let me take this water out. I can tilt the tub. I have like two perch heights.
Yeah. Okay.
So coat hangers for the smaller one, and then once they get larger, I'll uh I'll kind of put this kind of diagonal so it's hooked in on the bottom perch holder and then on the top, so it gives them a little bit more height.
Yeah.
But then once they start getting to this size, that's when I just make them ride all the way on the top.
Okay.
Reason being, what I found last year is I had a couple that got and I'm not saying this is from that, but some little spinal kinks, and I don't know if that's due to them striking and just falling too high off their perch, and
Hmm.
just with the
Interesting.
weight. So I wanted to make it where the perch was lower, closer to the ground,
Interesting.
so they weren't stretching their body all the way out
Hmm.
and possibly damaging their
A
spine.
great
So
point, Tyler. Thanks for bringing that up, bro.
yeah,
It's
that technique's definitely
yeah,
worked, and yeah,
you know,
they're doing good.
it's hard to talk about stuff, but hey, bro, the more experiences we share, man, the
Oh
more we
yeah,
can learn. That's why, I've
I'm.
I've shared as much as I can, fully transparent with you guys, and
Oh yeah, it's
you
not
know,
all
it's
butterflies and
yeah, man.
confetti.
That's
I've
that's why I'm
also
just taking it slow now, bro. Whatever's happens, happens, and not rushing
definitely.
anything, not trying to premature pair anything, and just keeping it going, man. Just keep chipping away at the chondro attempt.
Well, yeah, it's just all just trial and error too. You find what works and what
Can't wait.
doesn't, and that was just like a big thing with me. I noticed last year. I was like, I feel like these little guys are just up too high, and I need to give them
Yeah,
a lower perch closer to the ground, so when they're striking half their body out and grabbing these mice, they have more. You know, I guess
that makes a
they
lot
don't
of
have
sense, bro.
they don't have such
That's
a fall or a tall height to fall from, and
that's what I
possibly
like about you, Tyler, man. You
stretch
think
their body
outside the
out.
box, bro. You have ideas, bro. You're a thinker. You're original, and that's why people respect you, bro. You know, your
Thank
work
you.
shows. Your work shows,
Try.
bro. You
It's
got a
not all
lot of
success.
respect.
You got to fail to learn.
Yeah, of course, man.
Definitely, especially
Of
in this
course, bro.
hobby, or adapt
Of course,
and
man.
come up with new methods. So
Yeah, man.
found that was a good way. Obviously, prolapses, I've had that happen as well, and I've noticed that if I don't spray morning and night, I could potentially have a prolapse, or if the animal's not staying hydrated enough. I've noticed that to be a problem. Haven't had any issues
Yeah,
this year. We've been real good with no prolapses. Also, I've had a prolapse, kind of like what you were saying, where it almost wanted to go in by itself, but I noticed there was still just a little bit of fecal at the very end. Took that baby to
yeah.
the bathroom, gave it a warm water rinse, put it in the tub without a perch, and it actually went in within like 20 minutes by itself. So to me,
Nice. Yeah,
it seemed like the animal was almost just trying to still push it out because it felt like it still had something there, prairie dogging, and
yeah,
that wasn't allowing the prolapse uh, to go back in and recede. So
yeah, man.
it's always something, but they'll get your stress levels up. I've definitely gotten some gray hairs over the years, but
Yeah,
I enjoy it. The good
yeah. I
outweighs
think
the bad, definitely.
hydration is definitely key, and that's why I was kind of just thinking of doing the dip 'em in water
Hmm.
method.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't see how it could hurt. So
No, or even just, pre-killing it and then letting them soak in warm water. So they're still
yeah,
staying warm.
yeah,
I don't know if you would use like bottled water or like your
yeah,
tap water, because
yeah.
obviously
I'd
water has an odor
I'd
to it
use
unless you're running
filtered,
like pure
for
RO.
sure, bro. Green
Okay,
trees, all filtered water. Yeah.
definitely.
What I've been thinking about getting like investing in is like a tea kettle, like an electric tea kettle or
Okay.
some type of electric water warmer. So it's just I don't have to boil up, or like because to get filtered water warm,
Yep.
it's
You have that full
you can't
RO
just go run.
system.
Yeah, you can't just run the sink and you get warm filtered water. So yeah, I've been thinking about getting like a tea kettle or something. I
Okay.
don't do frozen thawed, so I've never really needed one. But I
Yep.
think I might just start like mimicking the frozen thawed
Hmm.
thing, but just with pre-killed.
Well, for my
And
baby Neos, when I'm warming up the mice, I have a wet wipe warmer. I used to, I go back and forth between using the wet wipe warmer or just having them in a deli cup, but the deli cup has no water in it, so the rodents aren't actually getting wet, so they're
yeah,
retaining their scent. And then underneath, it's floating on hot water. But obviously, over time, that starts to get
it kind of
cold. So I
yeah.
just put it inside of a baby wet wipe warmer,
Okay.
and it keeps it warm, keeps the water warm. And, if I have to go back and get more hot water, then I do that. But yeah, it'd be nice to have a Cambro tub warmer
Yeah.
where it'll get it warm enough. But I think the tea kettle method would be fine, just as long as you don't overcook it. Because
Yeah, yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, you don't want
oh,
to
that's the
overcook it.
worst smell ever. Is where you overcook a mouse and it explodes in the cage, and
Yeah.
oh man, you gotta air the whole room out.
Yeah, man.
I've
And that
learned that one.
it's that's where I kind of spoke about this too recently, and like the benefit of like breeding your own rodents, bro, and you know what you're feeding your rodents, like that fresh killed prey. I don't think there's anything better, bro, than like a fresh killed rodent, bro. Like frozen thawed, you buy from these companies, and who knows like when they froze them, how long they've been sitting in the freezer, if they thawed or rethawed, what they ate. There's so
Yeah.
many factors, bro. And it's like with like I just sleep so good, like knowing that I got fucking fresh quality shit right there. I know what I'm feeding them, and Yeah, man, because these animals aren't cheap, bro. Like these, these green tree pythons, like people got like $20,000 designer green tree pythons, and they're feeding it like a 50 cent fucking you know Chinese rodent or something. It's just it kind of like it doesn't like make any sense. You got this like $20,000 animal, and you're feeding it like you know I like because some of these frozen thawed, like I got a frozen thawed from the PetSmart. Obviously, that's not where people are buying them from, but I went to like go feed it, and it just disintegrated. It was like an orange blob. Like
Oh,
it was like I'm like I just threw it. I didn't even, I'm like, well, there goes $4,
yep.
and it's like, yeah,
I
bro.
hear you.
Like
I hear you. Yeah, or
I don't know
you
how.
spend all this money on a
Yeah,
snake, and
yeah,
people want to go cheap on enclosure. It's like
yeah, bro.
you're buying a
Like
$5,000 snake. Give
I
it a
get,
nice home. Don't have to go
yeah,
all out. Like I like to go all out and make it look,
yeah.
a, you know, pleasing for me to look at, but also I want it to be nice for the snake. And it's like, don't go cheap
You
on,
know,
just do it
I
right.
mean, I don't really, the enclosure, it's an enclosure. It's not eating the enclosure.
Oh,
Like a
definitely.
tub,
Yeah.
like tubs are, dude, tubs are like perfect, bro. Like, you know, as long as it's not an exoterra, bro. If it's not like, as long as it's not a glass enclosure, 100%, bro. But
And you can
like,
still make them work. Chris and Ashley over at
you know,
Focus Cube Habitat, they offer that PVC
yeah,
top for those enclosures. And I think you
yeah,
can really make it work as long as you're dialing your heat in right. And, you know,
yeah.
the
The
room's not
glass,
65 degrees that they're in.
yeah, the glass just
Um,
it doesn't like help keep. It's like
just doesn't
so.
insulate it as
Yeah,
much.
it doesn't. Yeah, the glass. I got rid of all the glass, bro. And so, but it's what you're feeding your animal, man. Like that's what's important. What they're eating. When they're eating these, and that's one thing that like when you produce your own rodents, you really have advantage of. And I don't think it's that much more work, honestly. It takes me like an hour and a half every 2 weeks. You do have to feed them very often. If you have a water supply thing, it's not that you fill that up maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks. It lasts a long time in a 5 gallon bucket, but it's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother if you don't have the living situation for that. But I think
I
that
need that
that's
extra
one.
room for some green trees.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's kind of lacking in the green tree python game is like the rodent production side of things, bro. And that's where you see shout out to the big homie dog, MJ, bro. He breeds
What's
his
up,
own
MJ?
rodents. He breeds his own rodents now, man. And just in time for those 6 clutches. And he's having great success with, the variety of rodents that he has to feed and the quality of the rodent. And you see his animals are thriving, bro. And he's got fresh rodents on tap and he's happy, bro. He's happy.
Animals are
And
happy. Everyone's happy.
that's so big salute to MJ for, breeding his own rodents. And, anyone, I think Bill Stiegel, produces his own rodents with Alex Warren. Um, something like that. I think they I know for sure Alex Warren produces his own rodents. I think he supplies Bill also with his, don't quote me, I don't know for sure.
Oh, we're
And,
quoting you.
like,
Just kidding.
Marshall Mendez, he breeds his own rodents too, so there's and obviously, Eugene Bassett, he bred his own, he had a whole rodent business as well.
Remember what I was saying? She moves to the front.
So,
She moved
yeah,
right there to the front. That's her spot.
yeah,
It's like clockwork.
yeah. That's the thing, it's like people got these $20,000 animals, bro, and they're buying fucking frozen rats from Cold Blooded Cafe or whatever, man. Hopefully,
I'm
hopefully they're
I
feeding
use
them some
Lane's
good shit.
I use
And
Lane's Labs.
yeah,
I've used Rodent Pro in the past and then started, for the last 2 years, at least for the Neos, feeding only Lane's Labs, and I've noticed a difference just in the quality.
yeah,
So I've fully switched over to Lane's Labs again because that's what I started with. But then, I was like, okay, maybe I can go to Rodent Pro. Maybe they're a little cheaper. They offer free shipping. And then I was like, no, no, that's exactly what we were talking about. It's like, can't be stuck in that mindset, oh, $4 or,
Yeah.
$3. It's like, no, these animals are no different than me. I like good food. I don't like to eat crappy food. I'm a
Yeah.
foodie. So I'm like, no, let's get some Lane's Labs product back here. And I've definitely noticed, just the packaging, how they're placed in the bags, how they're euthanized or on, I don't know if that's the right word, euthanized, where that
Yeah.
that means like killed or however. Um, but it's not like they're all like sprawled out with their hands all over the place. They're
Yeah.
all nicely and folded and tucked.
I've
So
I've heard nothing but good things about Lane Labs for sure.
yeah,
I think they're kinda local out here on the West Coast, or I'm
I
not
believe so.
100% sure where they're at, but they're at the reptile super shows
Yep. And now they
vending.
offer free shipping too over, I think it's like over $100 or $150. So
Nice.
I know that was probably a big
Great.
game changer for it because
Yeah.
it was like $75
Well,
for
what
shipping
else
no
you
matter
got
what you
going on,
bought.
Tyler? What's new, man?
What
Like,
else?
it's been 2
What else
months
is
since we
new?
last talked.
Um,
What's new, man?
just getting
You just
babies eating. They're all pretty
Yeah.
much established. Shipped out a baby last week to Vegas to a client. We've got a baby going out on Monday to a gentleman in New York. I sold a sibling to a client. That was my first green tree python I sold or that I bred. Um, Turned out to be a female. Wasn't looking to sell her, but I got a message from this gentleman, and I was like, you know what? Let's talk to the wifey, see if she's okay with that. And he's he's taken her, so Kiwi, that's what I named her. She's going to a new home here next week
Yeah.
as well. So that's been good. Been doing a lot of shipping for animals.
Yeah.
Um, just got my new
Yeah, man.
incubator in the mail, so now we got two of them.
Alright.
Um,
What kinda
that
incubator?
oh, okay, yeah, this is something that you might like.
Yeah.
So I use sea serpents, so I'm using the 2 by 3 by 2. Um, and what I found out is, granted, I only had one clutch this year, but on my first clutch, they weren't hatched on the same exact day.
Yeah.
And what I like to do the last week is I like to drop the temperature from, 87.5 down to like 86 because everything's getting warmer. Well, you can't do that if you have another clutch in that incubator because then that's going to mess up that one. So I'm like, no, we just need to do this right. So I bought a whole nother separate incubator, especially if all three of these uh, pairings, pop off. They're not all going to be in the same week or on the same schedule. I'll be able to take the clutches out of the first incubator, and then for the last 6 days or 7 days, they'll go into the next incubator. That'll be a lower temp. So that's something that I'm trying this year.
Yeah.
So that's new. Just got that Sea Serpents incubator in literally last Friday. So
Nice. Yeah,
yeah,
congrats, bro. I know MJ
um,
had some success, I think, doing that as well with his clutches
definitely.
and,
What
having
else
the
is
2
new?
incubators. And, yeah, I think, you hear some people straight bake,
Yep.
some people do temp drop.
Well, I did a
So,
straight bake my first year, and then this last
yeah.
year, after just rereading the Chondro book, and I believe they were, doing 87 degrees for the first week, and then after that, they were doing up to like 89 degrees up until the last week, and then they were dropping it. So
Yeah.
I kind of did that, and what I noticed is all my eggs started pipping on day 50. Last year, both of my clutches were like day 52 to 53. So I was like, maybe having that temperature a little bit higher helped them mature quicker. I don't know because I've only done it once. Um, I might play around with that this year, but I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure. I might just do this straight 87, 87.2. But there's just so many ways of doing it, and
Yeah.
that's the fun thing about this whole hobby is you're just seeing what works and what doesn't, and just experimenting. Obviously, if it's not broken, don't fix it, but
Yeah.
it was kind of something I wanted to try. I was like, well, let's see how this works. Um, but nothing really new. Just
Yeah.
work,
Any new
building
pickups
something.
or anything? New pickups or
Yeah, so I actually have a baby coming in from House of Blue from Garrick's High Yellow to Chronos pairing.
alright.
So I don't have a picture. I can't show you a picture of it because it's on my phone. I don't know how I would reverse that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should be getting that baby here hopefully this month. So that'll be
Okay.
cool. That'll be part of. I'm hoping it's a high yellow, but
Yeah.
it's a high yellow to a high blue. So it's like everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yellow and blue make green." I'm like, "No, don't say that."
Yeah.
But I don't think there could be a bad looking animal from that clutch.
Oh,
So
man. Nah,
that's a
bro.
new pickup. That's something
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting in. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Congrats,
Um,
dude.
Gonna be adding some more enclosures in the room. Also gonna be getting some more Cambro racks. I'm gonna try to come up with my own design.
Yeah.
Um, and definitely incorporate that into this room.
For those
Um,
IKEA tubs, you built your own rack?
yeah, so for those IKEA tubs, I actually bought a bookshelf from IKEA,
Okay.
and here I can show you it real quick. I'll
Yeah.
just turn the camera around.
Check that rack out.
We'll leave this on this mount, but so I
Oh,
might be
that
able to
is
zoom up.
sick, bro.
So here, I'll get a little closer. So yeah,
Wow.
actually, it's just a bookshelf from IKEA, but then I put my own tubs in it, and then I use PVC for the shelves. I did
Yeah.
do 4 heating zones, so I'm running a Herbstat 4 on it. So like heating zone 1 is like the first 3 rows, and then heating zone, 2 is like the next 3, and then the next 3. Just obviously because if
You
you
just
just
use some, like, really wide heat tape or something?
so I'm
Or,
actually
like,
just using where can I show you?
you, like, double stacked it?
Yeah, so just the heat tape that you get from like Reptile Basics, and it's running side to side. So you can cut it, and then I'm just
How wide
using
is the heat tape?
I believe it's I think it's the 21 inch,
Okay.
21 inches wide. So
So, like,
and then I
4 of those, like, made the height of the shelf?
let's see, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4, yeah,
Nice.
and then I just run like
So
this
you
is
use
kind of a
PVC, so you just screwed through the side of the bookshelf and s
yeah,
yeah.
but I have a wrap on it just so it
Yeah.
looks a little better, but and then I just have a dummy tub with the probe.
Yeah.
So at night, because obviously condensation
Smart.
is on the front on this guy. So what I
Yeah.
do every morning and night is I flip the tubs around. So I make that condensation evaporate from the back to the
Damn.
front. I do the same
Damn,
thing
bro.
with my tubs that have the probe in it. I rotate it and then I
Yeah.
spray it. I act like there's an animal in there just to simulate what happens when I, open a tub up and spray an animal.
So that I'm sorry, the probe is kind of to the middle of that tub,
Yep. Yeah,
right?
I run the probe dead middle. So
Yeah. And then you set it to what do you set that probe
right
to?
now I've got these guys at 84.5. So if they want to
Okay.
be a little
So
bit
it's a little
warmer,
warmer. Yeah, go to the back.
y- yep. If they want to be a little cooler, go to the front.
Man,
I
that's an
also actually
awesome
rock.
setup, bro.
Thanks, man. Yeah, just
Awesome, dude.
I do the same concept with my Focus tubs because I did used to have the probe on the outside, and I know Chris and Ashley now are incorporating where I believe the probe is able to drop down inside of the tub to get more of an accurate reading. Um, but what I did with that is same concept. I just drilled a hole in the side of the tub
Yeah.
and run the probe in there, and then I also, when I spray these guys, um, I'm spraying the probe as well. So this is actually the female that's going to be going out on Monday. So she's my first green tree I've ever
And
produced.
proven breeder or no?
Oh,
No.
no, no, she's a little over a year old.
All right.
So,
Okay.
but she is a female. She's a Maniquari Sarong.
All
So
right.
her father was one of my first green trees I've had. Her grandmother was the first green tree I've ever had back in 2000 and it was 2003.
Damn.
No, hold on. No, 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 no. That's a lie. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like 2000, like 2010, 2011.
Oh, okay.
So,
Still,
but
bro. Yeah. Man.
yeah, and this is Mojo. He's the sire to both clutches from last year, so he's just a Maniquari. But
Nice.
he's kind of like my grandson, because his mom was my first green tree ever. and he
Yeah.
is a sweetheart.
Nice,
He's puppy
bro.
dog tame. He'll be cruising the cage at night, and I would just open it up right here, and he'll come right to me. He doesn't want to bite. He just wants to be held. He's a needy bitch.
For
But
sure.
yeah, the other side of the room that everyone doesn't get to see. So,
Damn.
but
That is epic, bro.
yeah, thanks, man.
That is fucking crazy, dude.
Got
Shit.
some cool stuff. This is from House of
Man.
Blue as well. Violet Kronos baby.
Dude, you got it popping, bro. Jeez. Big Tyler, dog.
Once you get one, you can't have more. Or
Way to fucking
can't ever have enough.
yeah, dude. That's why I'm really liking those new 3x2x2s I got going, man.
They're working.
Obviously, there's not as nice as yours, but they add some depth. They add that like breeder feel, you know.
Definitely, definitely. I totally get what you mean. This will be
Man,
this is a male that I'm
so awesome, man.
cycling from Drew
Dude,
Russell. This is a Drew Russell animal,
looks
so I'm hoping to
amazing,
make
bro.
him a dad. He was the
It's
one
like a
that got rid.
museum. Dude, you got like a museum, like a fucking green tree reptile room.
It's the room, man. It's the room. So
Dude,
they're cool. I
that's
love them,
awesome.
man. And then stack of 8 over here.
Yeah.
So
Where are you gonna put some more?
so I'll be stacking another 2 up here. So
Yeah.
it'll be a stack of 8. I'm gonna do another stack of 4 right here. And
Okay.
then next to it, I'm gonna do a Cambro rack, so it'll hold another 12.
Yeah. Some grow ups.
Yeah, it's not gonna be it'll basically be this, but it won't be as intricate. It'll be right around the same like concept as this.
Yeah, like you're not gonna
So
go focus cube this time?
I might.
Or you're gonna go DIY? Or
I honestly I'll probably go DIY. I like Focus, but I know they've recently changed it, so it's a little different. Um, and I feel like I obviously have like space up here
long hair
and
Nate?
then like space right here. I was like, well, those two spaces together probably could fit a whole nother tub. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm probably just gonna try to make my own. I know I
Yeah,
can. It's
my
just
homie
time down in the shop.
long hair Nate says you got an awesome setup, bro.
Thanks, man.
He's a true
Thank
G.
you. Here's a cool. This is that one that male that I had to assist feed forever. This is Archie.
Yeah, there you
S-
go.
So he's from
Man,
House of Blue as well.
bitching,
So
bro.
yeah,
Bitching.
he just got a bigger cage, so I gave him some handicap ramps.
Yeah.
So because he likes to
That's
cruise around at night, but
that's another thing, like, when you upgrade him to a bigger cage, it could, kinda take him off food.
hmm yeah, for the longest time he wanted to sit down on the bottom, and I'm like, buddy, the heat's up here. Put him up there, and he didn't move for like a week. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But today, this is where he settled. He just literally shed. I think he shed
Yeah.
last night. So
Let me, expand I'm gonna put you on solo.
oh, so that's Archie. This is a Maniquari that I'm gonna pair Sumo up to this year. So she was a red. And then that male that got rejected last year that I just showed, that Drew Russell animal, he's going to be paired up to this female. This is Sumo's sister. So hoping for some good stuff with these guys. Are you still there? I wasn't sure what happened. If you're still there.
Yeah, show us
Okay.
that yellow diamond, bro.
Which one?
That green tree you got with the yellow diamonds on it.
Uh oh, this is a sibling to the sire from this year. So this is a Cyclops. Is that the one you're
There you
talking
go,
about?
that's the
That we
one,
were
bro.
talking. Yeah. So she's a Cyclops female. This is Miss Raja. You gonna come say hi, girl? Where your head at? Come say hi. So she's she's getting ready to, she's of age to breed, but she just wasn't in the plan for this year.
I love that look, bro. That's a look I'm missing
Well,
that I
hey.
wanna get. Nice, man.
Well, her brother, I would say, doesn't have as much yellow, but still still same genes. That's her brother. And then this is my nosy female. Her name is Artemis. She's awake. She's like food. Oh,
Oh,
boom. Well, you saw that
that's
live.
hilarious.
Yep, that's her.
That's what a green tree python should do, man. That's a
Yep.
good green tree right there.
It's because we're
That's what I
an
like.
hour
That's what I
an
like, bro.
hour and a half past her bedtime and she can smell the food.
Yeah, man.
So she's like,
That's
food.
great.
Sorry everybody if that made anybody mad. But and then we have Nibbles,
Oh,
or
yeah.
well, Pixel. She's usually pretty chill. So what's up, mamas? But like I said, I mess with them all. I handle them all, so I'm used to it.
That's I got captive bred animal. It's the Mauricio Lutero production,
Okay.
and it has a different looking like snout, bro. It has like kind of curved snout, like its head is kind of like that, like not anything crazy, but like just looks different, bro. I really like that. Have you noticed like a green tree like that? Like they
Um,
mostly have like the flat snouts, but this one has like it's got like a little like shape to its face, man.
so I have a female. Um, she I've like what I had noticed was pretty distinct with her is she has a very long nose. She's got a long
Yeah.
snout, and then Sumo, he's got a fat and chunky snout.
Yeah.
But and then I've also noticed like Beox tend to have like
Yeah, those
bigger
big ass freaking
nostrils.
nostrils, yeah.
So,
And
but
Cyclops have the big old bug eyes. They got like
uh,
I don't know, like I
I
don't know,
don't
man.
know. Well, I don't know about that. Let's see. Where you at, girl? Where's your
But
head?
yeah, Cyclops do have that like those heat pits, like the kind of tight heat pits. Like
Well, Cyclops are very similar locality-wise to Maniquari, from what I
yeah.
understand. Let's see if I can get this out. Mm, I don't think so.
Uh,
That's pure Cyclops.
yeah.
Do her eyes look big or bug-eye, like what you were talking about, or no?
Maybe it's like more noticeable in a male or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
What's that girl? To
Uh,
me, she definitely has a shorter
or
snout.
might be a Jayapura thing. I don't, I don't
Jono say.
Jayapura
Oh, you're gonna say
Cyclops.
hi.
Utarensis, I don't know, bro. Fucking
It's like this one, I don't have to worry about her hitting me in the face. Just Artemis. There's times where I'll try to feed her and she'll uh she'll strike the plant and miss the mouse and I have to
Oh shit,
open,
I hate that shit. They get
I
the
was like,
puppy pad. Oh,
no, oh,
it,
I've had
you
that
know,
where they wrap in
yeah,
the paper towel. Oh,
yeah,
that's fun. That'll get your heart going.
yeah.
It's
I
like,
just,
oh shoot, how am I gonna do this? So, but no, I love working with this species, man. They're awesome.
yeah, bro.
Um, and like I said, I handle all my stuff. I touch
Yeah,
it. I get them used to just being handled. I know some people
yeah,
like no, but I feel like they all have personalities, and I
yeah, man. There's
feel
nothing
like
like
they understand.
handling a green tree python, bro. There's there's nothing like that shit, bro.
Well, I
Like,
love when they come up to your face, and it's like they're
yeah,
not monsters like everybody thinks. Like obviously, yeah, there's one up there, but she's cranky because she wants to eat because she's fat girl. But for the most part, they're pretty calm and shy.
yeah, for sure,
So,
bro. Yeah, you
but
got a killer
thanks, man.
collection
I
pattern.
appreciate it. We'll
Yeah,
see what happens here in the next year with just some other
yeah,
stuff.
man.
So, what's up, mamas? Hi, hello. That's a lot of them do that. I don't know if that's just me
Yeah.
being
Yeah,
happy,
they
but
wanna
they all want to just come up and say hi.
yeah.
So, but
Now
yeah, I've had this.
your animals know you, bro. They know you,
They
man. They know their
they
keepers.
do.
You know them,
They do.
and it's
Well,
what
and
it's
all of
all
them that
about, bro.
we've had in here, I've had since they're babies or yearlings. Besides, Dijon. That's why I have to watch them. But that was worth it. I was glad I ended up with that one. So,
Yeah, man.
but yeah, man.
Yeah, Tyler.
What other questions
Appreciate
you
you.
got, or are you trying
Yeah.
to wrap up? I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I was yeah,
Except mamas.
an hour and a half went by really fast, bro. We started
It
the show a
always
little
does.
early. Um, it was we're just kind of shooting the shit this time.
Yeah,
Um, sounds like we're both just grinding, bro. We're both just grinding. Obviously, we're on different levels, but I love learning from you, man, and always, good talking to you, bro, and just
absolutely, man.
being
Here
inspired.
anytime.
You're an inspiration to us all. There's not many people that do what you do, bro, and go as far as you go for your animals, man. So you're definitely you're up there, bro, in the top tier, man. You've got good mentors,
I do. I
and
do. Thank you,
yeah,
Garrett.
man.
Appreciate it, bud. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you. Thank you, man. Well, shoot. Thanks for having me.
yeah, if you
I
go,
really
yeah, man.
appreciate it.
We'll chop up soon, bro. And good luck with your cycle.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
If anyone's interested in
Yeah,
any Neos, like I said, I still have 8
yeah.
Jaya Biok slash Cyclops. Um, look out for those 3 new pairings coming up here. And, that's all I got for now, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you letting me share everything.
Yeah, bro. You look great, Tyler. Keep up
Thanks,
the
man. I
good work,
appreciate it.
bro. God bless you, man. And
Appreciate it.
hang out backstage and we'll wrap it up and
Cool.
send you off, bro. Thank you everyone for tapping in. West Coast Wednesdays, episode 15 with the homie Tyler's Green Trees Part 2. Make sure you guys catch the replay, man. Smash the like button. If you're new over here, subscribe. And, if it wasn't for all these animals, bro, all these cool homies that we got in the game, bro, none of this would be possible. I do this 100% for the love of the animals and the love of all of you guys. Thank you so much. God bless everyone. Hope everyone has a great rest of their week. Tapping out from West Coast Wednesdays.